Got my phone set up so that we can. Got it. And hi, everyone. How are we tonight? I hope that you're able to join us live. I'm Kathy, of course, and I have the wonderful Francisca.
Yeah.
Am I saying your name correctly?
Yes, you are.
Do you prefer Francisca or Fran?
I mean, like it's funny because in my handle is Visibility Fran, and so now everyone's just gonna know me because of Fran, but my name, yeah, my actual name is Francisca. But I mean, it's Fran is okay as well.
My name's Kathleen, but only my mum called me that when she was angry at me. So I prefer to be called Kathy. Well,
Yeah.
I'm just checking. We've got a couple of people on live. So, guys, please say hi. I've got my phone here on the side, so I'm just checking, going to check for comments as we go, and looking forward to saying hi to everyone. Tonight, of course, we're talking about Instagram, and the lovely Francisca is very good at Instagram, and she helps creatives gain confidence and monetize their Instagram presence. So I'm really interested to hear about this. Instagram is not my thing. I'm getting all over Facebook, but Instagram is something that I haven't really explored. It's something that Facebook links it, so it just sort of pops it over there, so that's fine. But I don't really follow it. And I'm not sure if any of our people watching tonight, if it's the same for you, is that you feel super confident with Instagram. If you do, I'd love you to pop in the comments. If you're watching it later, just hashtag replay, pop in the comments, yes, I'm really confident, or no, I'm not confident, I need more information. Whatever it is for you, I'd love you to do that as we go. And if you're on here now, please make sure that you say hi. So hi, Anne, lovely to see you. And Nina, hi. Anne says she's not confident, so fantastic, Anne. You're in the right place.
Yes.
Just like me, I don't feel super confident with Instagram. So that's great to know that there's people out there that need this. So the other thing that we talk about in our group, the Confidence Speakers Academy, is we actually talk about confidence, because to get on camera, to put yourself out there, and that's what it is with Instagram and reels. Like reels are the new thing as well. It's really putting yourself out there. So that's my first question, Francisca. I'd love to know, how did you get your confidence? Like how does confidence work for you?
Well, the simplest answer is just like starting, before you're ready. That's like the main thing. I read this book, Everything's Figureoutable by Marie Forleo. I love that book. And it's just like really, really inspired me to push past my comfort zone, because I remember the first video that I did on Facebook Live. I think it was like a year ago or something. And I was completely uncomfortable. I didn't know, who I was speaking to, and that was the main problem. Like the first thing that you have to keep in mind is the clarity of who you're addressing, who you're talking to, and like know that it's not only like a number, like a follower, but it can be like a potential connection. So if you have that clear, you have your purpose clear, it's going to be easier for you to just step out. That, and also the consistency, like the habit of making it happen, because there are times where you're not going to feel like showing up, and it's okay if you don't. I mean, there are several ways to do so, but at the same time, if you don't build that habit, then it's not going to happen. It's just like, I have this, phrase that is, start um, with consistency, with clarity, consistency, and confidence will follow. Because if you don't do it, you won't get confident, and so.
Yes, and that's the sucky bit about confidence, isn't it? You can't wait for it to rock up.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen.
You have to do it.
You have to do it. Confidence actually comes from having reference points. So you actually go, oh, I did that and therefore I can do this. And so hopefully you have something else. And I talk to people about finding something else in your life that you felt really confident in, and know that because you were able to do that, you can do this new thing. And that doing anything new is hard.
Yes.
You're going to
It is.
up. I mean, I don't know how many Facebook Lives I've mucked up. in the time I've been doing lives, probably about 5 years now, there's been so
5 years?
times, yes, so many times that I've hit the wrong buttons, or I've just mucked it up. And there's a very I've kept my first Facebook Live, and it's hilarious. It is.
Oh my, yes. No, I mean, I'm pretty sure that if I see mine, I'm gonna see like my face just, looking at like all over the place, looking everywhere else instead of like actually the camera. And it's like that, you cannot. One of the other principles is just progress over perfection, because before you hit the polish button, whether it's like a text or whatever you do, it's very important that you get past the perfection side of things, definitely, because otherwise it's a way to, let's say, procrastinate as well.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And that's the procrastination's really just keeping yourself safe, and you feel in danger, but you're really not. We're not in danger. It's okay. I used to trick myself with Facebook Lives, and we'll get onto Instagram in a minute. And guys, please join in, say hi. We've got 3 people watching at the moment. I know there's a lot of other people who are registered, so please say hi. I've got the lovely Francisca here. We're going to be talking about Instagram, but we started off by talking about confidence and how we get it. And the sucky thing is you can't wait for it. You've just got to get in and do it. I love that. Consistent clarity and consistency, and confidence comes later. That's fantastic. What a great phrase. So, okay, we have our confidence, like we know that we've just got to suck it up, get on with it, find the way to do the first thing. So before I go any further, what time is it where you are? Because I have to acknowledge this.
Oh, it's 4 a.m.
4 a.m. Tell everyone where you're from.
So I was born in Ecuador, so I'm living now in South America. I work with this English-speaking business owners for several reasons, because I always loved speaking English, and I lived in England for a year, and lots of stuff like that happened that led me to just conduct like my business this way. But yeah, it's 4 a.m.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate your commitment to getting up so early. I hope you have a chance to go back to bed and get
yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, like it's fine, like earlier today, and that's, I love being vocal about mindset. It's like one of my favorite things ever. So I was gonna say that this past days have been like very challenging, and one of the things that the more that you face and overcome those challenges, the easier it gets to just like commit and like take responsibility and just commit. Because in my experience, whereas you're feeling like crap or you're feeling good, you're not gonna make things better if you just postpone and like ghost things. That just makes it worse. I say, because I was like that, I just postpone things, blah blah, and
rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, I know. Like last week, like truly, I was truly sick. So
no, you were. No. It's all good. It's all good. There are times where you just can't do it, and it's actually not good for your brand to rock up. If we only talk about brand, to rock up when you're really not well either. And I think it sends the wrong message out to people. We've got to be kind to ourselves. We've got to look after ourselves, and that's really important, especially when you put
priority.
And
that goes along, well, before and whenever you're ready to speak about Instagram, but a big part of Instagram actually. And one of the things why I got into it was because I started as an artist. So I love singing since I'm like very young and everything. And so I started my journey and I started seeing like the amazing opportunities that were there, especially, me, I'm, I'm from here and I get to connect with people all over the world and I've always loved that. But for me, it was really about stepping outside of the comfort zone and just putting yourself out there because that's one of the things I appreciate the most. I appreciate that over actual virality and and sacrificing your mental health over it, because of course it has to be with the organization. If you batch your content well, if you have clarity first, you're able to be consistent. But there are times, like for example, like the Facebook Instagram meltdown thing, which is like really funny for everyone was just sending emails about it. um I I was yesterday at a place where I was really I was like pushing
Yeah.
myself to do things even if I didn't feel like very well. And then I felt like it was a sign from God. I mean, he was like that fell down. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a break then.
Step away. Just step away. Yes. How interesting was it? Everyone kept posting. How'd you go without Instagram and Facebook? I'm actually noticing in the group, like all my scheduled posts have gone missing. I couldn't do events at some stage, so a whole lot of different things are sort of happening. I don't know what's happening over at Instagram, but it's definitely lots of little kinks and things happening at the moment on Facebook and Instagram land, that's for sure. So let's get on to Instagram, because I'm really interested in how how does Instagram work as far as how you work with people? What happens?
So how I work is, first of all, I always make sure that the content is the most important part, because it is through the content that they're going to see value and they're going to see you either as an expert or a person that can help them. Because let's be honest, there are like millions and millions of accounts. So that's a part of confidence. Like you can truly start with the mindset of, okay, I'm not even going to try this because it's going to be like too overcrowded and all those limiting beliefs. um, but when you actually gain clarity on why you're doing this, and you basically set yourself up for the expectation that you're not going to grow like as fast as you may think. Because I think if you just focus on the numbers, that is, it's going to be just, you're going to like start maybe leasing into tactics that are not good, like for example the follow for follow thing, or like paying someone else to grow it. And if you pay someone else to grow it, what happens is that you get lots of irrelevant accounts that are not going to engage with your content, and they're not going to monetize your content. So um, the way marketing works now and the way it should be is that you actually attract people by your content and being present and offering the solution they need. So if you have those things, I don't see why people would think, unless obviously there are some people that just want to be like let's say insta famous and all of that. There's no shame around that.
Yeah.
But I've come to realize since I started to now that I just don't like that kind of pressure. It can lead you to burnout and everything, and it's just not healthy to just, I mean, you use it for leverage and its features. You can really get the post stickers. You can do like market research, you can connect with people, you can do lives, you can do networking. If you own like the communities like this, like membership sites and stuff, you can always ask someone to jump in as a guest expert. I mean, the opportunities are endless. But it just depends on your goal. Like growing a following and monetization are actually not the same, because where it's true that if you have a big following, you have more eyeballs, more people maybe willing to buy your stuff. At the same time, you cannot expect to just monetize your account when you have like thousands of followers. I mean, even if you have 200, if they're like super relevant, they can convert.
What I'm hearing is that rather than looking at how many, it's who's engaging with your content.
Yeah.
If they're engaging, it means that they want to know what you've got to offer. So what you're offering, your solution is actually what they might need in some stage, or they're curious, or they're looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's always the lurkers, let's say, that look at your content that probably sometimes they may not even engage, because what I do is combine the efforts on writing on Instagram and on Facebook, but of course I don't use the same content. I mean, I love writing, so for me, I've gotten to a point where I just write, and putting a post out there is just, it's just like easy because I love it. I love writing, but I understand, like, for many people that don't have maybe a strategy in place, don't know what to post, it can be daunting. But it is really important that you don't like copy paste the same content, because I've noticed this with the accounts, is that many people that are on Facebook, they sort of like screenshot this and use it to Instagram. And on Instagram, visuals are incredibly important, which is good, because you have the chance to like showcase your amazing brand. If you're a personal brand, or if you're a business or something, you have some colors. It doesn't have to be perfect, but at the same time, it does have to be curated. So let's say my brand colors are purple, sort of like pink, metallic, and I always have templates that have those colors. And I'm pretty sure that many people here know Canva. Canva is amazing. It's amazing, right? And it's, yeah, it is.
Out of the
And so
kitchen in Australia.
yeah,
Just amazing.
you don't have it in Australia? What?
Yeah, we do. But the founders are actually Australian, and they were in their kitchen.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that's great. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's one of the
That's
big.
amazing.
It's just incredible. It's such a great site. Get on to
Yeah.
Canva, guys. If you're not on the Canva, I don't know anyone who isn't at the moment, but get on the Canva. We all love
Yeah,
Canva.
and they have a 30 free day trial, by the way. You can like try it, and also you can select the templates as well. Like you pre-select templates, and for example, you can do like different kinds of feed posts, like what is like really booming now, apart from reels, because not all accounts that are growing use reels. I mean, they also use feed posts, they also use carousels. People think that just by using reels you're going to grow, and the truth is, it's not only about the real thing, because the real thing, sometimes the algorithm, it's not like you're going to post something you're going to go viral. I mean, it depends on like how targeted your content to your audience is. So that is like the idea. It's more about like the content, and adapting it to the format, tweaking things, seeing what works, what doesn't. I mean, it is like patience. So I would say that jump on it when you feel ready, and when you are going to be consistent. Because if you're gonna, and you don't have to post every day at first. I was working with a client, and I didn't make him jump every day at first, because I saw that he needed to know a few stuff before, and I knew that I already knew that his interest wasn't, it wasn't going to be to go just viral and all of that. Because if people come to me and say, I want to go viral, I'm like, I cannot promise that. I cannot promise that you'll go viral.
Yeah.
Probably at some point I will.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Hey guys, if you're joining us, please say hi. We're talking about Instagram at the moment with the lovely Francisca. So again, I'm hearing that you've got to know who your audience is.
Yes.
Really clear, and this is the clarity part. You've got to know your audience. You've got to be really clear about it, but also that Facebook and Instagram are different. And I think that's that I really didn't understand for a long time. And so tell me, what is the main difference between Facebook and, like, as far as content goes? What's the difference?
So on Facebook, actually, it's more of a spontaneous kind of platform. So I know that many people, well, first of all, let's differentiate the fact that obviously lots of people use Facebook only for personal, but now we know that a lot of business orders have shifted online. So, well, obviously we're starting to see that even Facebook has allowed selling and everything. And so the content there is longer, whereas on Instagram is sort of like more of catching your audience's attention with like the visual, and then from the visual getting them to read. But it has to be kind of like a more structured kind of post. So let's say a hook, a headline, text and a call to action. That's like the formula. It's like you want to capture them since the phrase, and then an engaging body, and then get them to actually take action. Whereas it's like commenting or saving the post and all of that. And on Facebook, it doesn't have to be that curated, that specific. You can kind of blog posts kind of that way, like blog posts, like long posts and everything.
Yeah.
They work better then. But it also depends on how engaged your audience is, because if you're starting, you don't want to overwhelm them with a lot of text or or a long video. You always want to start like with engaging stuff, and then when you see, okay, he really loves my content, I can, or there's a big percentage that love my content, then I can do some sort of like longer videos or posts or something.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember that you are competing with lots of accounts, so you want to make it as, let's say, you want to make the hook as strong as possible.
Yeah. And so the hook is what's on the visual, and then people click through and read the rest of the content. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, because if you watch an Instagram, so what they see first is like the visual.
Yeah.
But you want them to stay longer on the caption, because that actually tells the algorithm that your account is being watched, and so it pushes your account further to other people, what can make them into followers, leads, and clients. So you have to, so if you look at it, you won't see any like visual without a caption. All visuals have captions. And so again, at the beginning it can seem very overwhelming, which is why I remember like the first I had an account, a personal account first, for like lots of years, but it wasn't when I was really into this a lot. And then when I started using my music account, I remember the first bio I created, and I cannot believe like I didn't know so much stuff about it. I had put like hashtags there in on the bio and things like that now they just don't serve a purpose, because the minute that I gained clarity on and made the content sort of like defined by my content pillars, was really when I started seeing the difference. That, and also just being present, and not giving up, because people can have false expectations about social media, because it's like, and I think in business social media, because they believe like because it's online, and this is something that I had to learn as well, because it's online, it doesn't mean that people are gonna see it and buy right away.
Yeah.
So you do have to set that expectations and be patient and sell in a confident way as well. Because if you start like engaging in DMs to like, I don't know if you've gotten those DMs that immediately you sort of like feel like they're gonna sell to you just out of the bat, and it just doesn't feel right. You have to create that connection first.
Sorry, too soon. I don't know you enough
Yeah,
yet. Too soon.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but that can be, I think it's understandable, because I know sometimes times can be difficult and people do want to sell. It's just that sometimes they don't know how to do it like the better way. I mean, there are like so many things now. There's video, there's stories. The only thing that you have to know is that you're not creating those stories for yourself. You're creating those for the people that are watching.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want to like just think that you always want to be aligned, because if you fall out of alignment, then it just starts with you like slugging off and not posting anything and all of that.
So how do you get this? How do you get the clarity? Like, if that's the first step of getting clarity on your mess on, well, in speaking terms, when we go to present, we always get to know, we need to know the audience, because that dictates the language we're going to use. It dictates our call to action at the end. And I encourage people always, when you're going to speak, always have a call to action, even if it's asking people to comment, to join in, always have a call to action. So
Yeah.
the purpose of your speaking is really crucial. And I'm hearing that that's the same. So the same principles of know your audience. How do you get to know
Yeah.
your audience on Instagram?
Well, honestly, I think that it's not only on Instagram. You can also invite them to, maybe you can, what you can do is do a survey, like send them a link. If you're preparing like an offer or something, it's always better to ask them. And also you can, send them a survey with like, what are their like pain points, or like what is it that they want to learn from this, if you're like an educator, because that way you'll actually know, and they'll like guide you into like what kind of content. But truly there's no better way than testing and doing, because if you put a post out there that Instagram indicates which posts work better than others. So it's just a matter of fast tracking the process and doubling what works. And then again, I mean, like really, really not fixating on like the numbers, because otherwise it's going to be a platform you're going to hate. And you shouldn't, because it does bring great opportunities. The only thing is that it is important that at some point you diversify it. So you make sure that, for example, if you want to grow, you can put your name, your handle in like your Facebook cover. That's like a really great tactic. Or on LinkedIn, like, because those are more searchable and YouTube is more searchable. So if you sort of like put little bits of that on your profiles, different profiles, then you're going to drive traffic to Instagram.
Okay, so just so what you're saying is that make sure you put your Instagram handle on all your socials.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on your goal, because I know there are people that may be focusing on Facebook groups, let's say, or it depends on what is your goal now. If you really want to get serious about Instagram, then of course you can optimize your let's say your banners, like on my Facebook page, I have my name and I have my handle there. So the
Mhm.
people, who know, they can visit me on Instagram as well. And
Yeah.
that helps to grow my following and nurture the relationship. And so yeah, that's one step. And then I would strongly advise that when you are at the level that you can, let's say with you work with them with confidence, right? And part of confidence is actually doing live. So if
Mhm.
they do a live, they can also put it on YouTube, because YouTube is more searchable, and so that can bring traffic to Instagram, to an already optimized Instagram,
Mhm.
actually. Because if they go from YouTube and Instagram, they see you never post, and they see like it's completely unclear and disorganized. They're actually that's gonna do more harm than good. I mean, that's gonna like see like, well, this is not like a serious brand or something.
Yeah, because brand is really, I mean, it's important in general, but from the branding of colours and having that first, what's the first board called? This is what I'm not even very,
Like
but
the first impression, you
yeah,
mean?
the first impressions is really important on Instagram because it's so highly visual.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Because when it's, so you don't want to exaggerate. I mean, it depends on like the style of your account. So I like keeping my account highly curated with like my colors, because it's just sort of like makes your brand memorable if you have like colors, that you select. um but then again, it just, if for example, if it's a nature account, obviously you're going to have more nature pictures. But with my account being like an educator in this platform, and all of that, I do use a lot of educational content and all of that. So if it's actually educational content, I will try and make it the more like visually appealing as possible and the more spread out, so that people can digest that information in a good visual way. which is not the same with Facebook, because if you put a post out there explaining something, you don't have to do that. But at the same time, there's a lot of, I would say, the engagement is higher on Instagram when you put like carousels and stuff than on Facebook, like because you can get lost easily as well.
Yeah. So what's it?
Yeah.
Carousels? Explain carousels. What are they?
So carousels are posts that are like from 1 to 10. So they were launched like a few years ago, but now they're like seeing a big increase. Like many accounts are using it, especially educational accounts, because if you know, if there are artistic accounts, more like video. But actually, you know, with the client I was working, I was like, you know, in my experience, when I just put video out there, you expect like the people will watch, but you do have to have that differentiating factor. So I was like, do you have an expertise around like drum? She's a drummer, so do you have an expertise around, you know, drums or DAWs and everything? So I suggested to him that we should create an educational side, because that will bring, let's say, producers to learn about that, and in turn they can become like customers of him. So it's like a journey, you know. It's like sometimes you think that you're just gonna put out something out there and they're just gonna buy, but the truth is that you do have to put a little bit of effort in the content, as it is with everything, you know. Like what is best, you know, to like plan your content, create your content, and then convert, or like engage in just cold DMs that are gonna make you like feel. First of all, they're gonna make you feel sleazy, salesy, and they're probably not gonna convert unless, I don't know. Yeah, no.
And talking about DMing people, it is interesting because I think that's how we met. We actually, we sent each other a message and I said, hi,
Yeah,
you know, thanks
yeah,
for my page. Here's my group if you're interested, you know, and
yeah,
that's how we met. So it is actually a really good way to follow up on people
yeah,
if they do like your content, to
yeah,
sort of say, hey, thanks for following me, if you're interested, but make it the next natural step, not, hey, buy this thing. It's like develop a relationship, get to
yeah.
know people
And
before.
also sometimes, yeah, which is why my group is also like called From IG Connections to Conversions. It's really new, but because of the part I love the most is the connection side of it. So I remember like a few weeks ago, I started, you know, doing IGTV lives, which are great if you wanna like increase your connections and also make your account relevant by association, because actually I remember that I started with a video marketer, and but that by that point I was just starting, so it was a huge leap for me. So I just like, you know,
Wow, that is
sent
huge.
him, yeah. So it was like, yeah, you know, can I love your account, and I was like sure that I was gonna say no, you know, because he already had like, I don't know, 5,000. That for me it was big, you know. But again, it's not about the numbers, but I loved like his content. So we just did an interview, and from that, you know, we did another interview. Then all of a sudden, like I was doing an interview with like someone that had like 70,000 followers, you know, which not always means that, just to lower down expectations, not always means that they're like all of them are gonna follow you, because it depends on who's gonna watch the live. And we have to remember that also, people, unfortunately now, or fortunately, you know, but they're less online because like things are opening up again
Yeah,
and they have a life as well. So
yeah,
it's like, you know,
yeah.
so when you jump in a live, actually, I have done it myself, you know, it's not like I'm not interested, but sometimes I do watch and then I have to jump off because I have another thing. So
Yeah,
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 I'm probably I'm sure that you have like taught your like students that maybe, okay, you know, so when maybe when you go live and you don't see many numbers, it's not like maybe that what you're saying is not interesting, but because they may be busy.
that's exactly it. And also, well, for Facebook Lives is they say you should stay on for longer, but I find if I'm doing lives, I tend to keep them a little bit shorter. I mean, interviews are different because you're having a chat and you're
Yeah,
talking,
yeah,
but you know, videos tend to 3 to 5 minutes, and, you know, because people need to consume things quickly now. They don't, you know, if you go longer than that, they lose interest. And, you know, we did a summit a while ago, and I couldn't believe it. We ran it all day and expected people to pop in and out, but there were like people staying all day long. The content was that great. But that's the key. If the content's great, people will come back to it, they will comment, and they will watch it as well. And so even people who are not engaging with it are generally watching it. And I know when I did my Facebook Lives, I used to pretend that no one was watching, and that was really good for me. You know, no one's watching anyway. I can just talk. And so, but then I had a friend sort of jump in at the shops and say to me, hey, I'm loving what you're doing. Thank you so much. And I went, it's because generally people are watching. So
yeah, and the more consistent you are, you know, there was a time where I just felt like because, you know, and it's good that I'm, you know, talking with you, because I am like, I've been a speaker all my life. Like I talk. Sometimes, you know, I watch videos back. I was watching like a session that I did actually with Anne, who is amazing. She's a storyteller, she's a writer and coach. Yeah. And so I was watching the session and I'm like, oh my God, how I'm like, we're in a group and I'm just talking and I'm like, how rude, why am I talking so much? But, you know, I've always been like that, like a big talker. And sometimes you don't realize that and now I love, you know, speaking about motivation and all of that. Sometimes you don't realize that that can actually be very helpful, you know, for like your career or a new like business venture or like many things.
Yes, and it's important that because I think we're taught as children to be quiet. I don't know if that it's a bad thing that you're talkative, but it's actually not. It's a great thing, and it's about being purposeful in how you speak and putting some structure to it, and then you have more influence, which is what we're all about, which is to create businesses that create change, that help people achieve what they want to achieve, that provide solutions. That it's this ethical sales. It's being, I have a solution, here it is. If you would like it, here it is. And so that's really important. And that's what I'm hearing from what you're saying as well. It's about the content, it's getting people, making sure you know your audience, and then they will become engaged with you rather than just going out for the numbers. And
yeah, because you know what, for me, mental health is like super important. And I don't feel that it's healthy at all. You know, I was just reflecting these past days because sometimes we do really need to push ourselves outside of the comfort zone, but there comes a moment where you have to just stop and just analyze things, you know, to get clearer, because you can get lost if you just post content for the sake of it, and that's it. You know, you really have to remember why you're doing stuff and all of that. So I remember that one of like my ideas, or like when I started like my new account, I was really talking about, you know, creating content with purpose, let's say. You know, as someone who loves writing, because some people like enjoy the graphic design part of it. Like some people enjoy like I enjoy the talking part of it, the communication part of it, and stories. And talking about stories, which was something that I was gonna ask, and I'm actually doing a story takeover. I'm gonna explain what that is in a bit, because I was gonna talk about how stories, like I cannot even think why I was afraid, but for a long time I didn't show up on stories. I just didn't because first of all, I had made some mistakes on like the audience growth, and that kind of like I just didn't know my audience a lot. And that's like another point, is that when you start, you want to set the base right, because otherwise, let's say that you know, you pay an agency or something and like they grow your following. How are you going to know, you know, how are you going to know, and how are you going to like know who these people are? You know, it's much better if you just maybe do engage in in tactics that may take a little bit of time, like maybe 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 10 minutes there or something. It doesn't have to be hours.
Yeah.
Personally, I have spent hours sometimes because I've been working on
Your
this,
thing,
but
your jam. It's
but
your thing. It's your thing, so you're going to spend hours on it.
yeah. Although sometimes there have been times where I want to throw it, the cell phone to the window. But I think it's like that with every job, and when that happens, I do think it's important to just like take a day and believe that, okay, I'm not a slave of this, because this doesn't make sense if I'm like a slave of this thing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. Really appreciated sharing
For
all
sure.
your knowledge and expertise, and for getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning. Dedication. That's what that.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't wake up. I was already awake.
Oh, that's even more dedicated. You just stayed up. I hope you go back to bed and get some good night, get some sleep.
Yeah.
So, final tip. So, what's if someone's just like they're sort of dabbling in in Instagram? What would be the first step for them if they've sort of got an account but they're not doing something with it? What would be the first thing for them to do?
Well, I think as I said, set the expectation of like, okay, if I'm gonna like do this, I'm gonna set up some consistency schedule thing. I mean, first of all, like define why you're creating this and like what will be your content pillars. And but again, well, you asked for the first step. So like the first step is just, setting the expectation that, okay, if I want to use this for business, I'm gonna be strategic with it, and I'm gonna like use it for business, not mix like different things, because I see many accounts like mix different things. And if it's personal, it's okay. It doesn't have to be curated, you can do whatever you want with it. And it's like if it's a hobby. But if we're not talking about a hobby and we're talking about a business, it is great that you just put yourself into the mindset that, okay, if I'm gonna start with maybe just once a week to try, and then like twice a week, or like you start twice a week and then 3 times a week. But the important thing is that you keep that like 3 times a week, and then you set up a time so that your audience like gets just used to you posting.
Mm-hmm.
And then because I have seen sort of like what they call like dead accounts, like for example, like no one engages, or it's a completely different niche. What I would suggest is that either like you make an announcement, or you check out how this is relevant. So if it's a completely different thing, I would suggest that you maybe like start another one, because otherwise like the audience that you have there, I mean, some could engage, some not. But again, don't get fixated on the numbers. So it's not like, oh my God, I grew this and now all the effort. But I think you're gonna waste much more time if you just stay with something that is not gonna maybe like make you feel like you're actually speaking to the right people. Because I remember having an account, and that I was like, I'm talking, but I don't really feel like I'm talking to a lot of like relevant people.
Yeah. Find your audience, find out what they need.
Yeah.
And curate it. I think that's what I'm hearing, is that make sure it's purposeful. So
Yeah. Don't be like a perfectionist, because your first post and your like second, third is never gonna be perfect. Nothing's ever gonna be perfect. But I mean, like, sometimes we just stop doing things because we want it to be perfect. Like it's like my YouTube channel, for example. I have been procrastinating it for so long because I was like really busy, and I wanted to, I was like comparing myself to other people, blah blah, and until like I posted a video like with no strategy whatsoever, but that was like to just remove the friction of things and get something out there.
Yeah.
And then you sort of like habituate yourself to just scale things and stuff.
So getting in there, start doing things. And I believe you've got something to offer our group as well, that you're going to put in the comments.
Yeah. So I can put the link here, and you can put it in the post. I don't know if So yeah, I mean, like, I'm gonna obviously invite you guys to follow my Instagram because I put a lot of amazing content there every day that can help you. And then also I have a free like 30-minute call that you can book with me. And of course, if you need more support, I'm there, and there's some questions for you to answer. And yeah, I have a lead magnet that I first like I gave to a group of people, and then I was setting up the landing page, to be honest. So if you do follow me on Instagram, hit me on the DMs, and then I can, or on Facebook, because on Instagram you cannot really send the file, but on Facebook you can also write to me, and I can give you access to the free book. And of course you can let me know if you find it useful, and also let me know if you want to like hear more from me so that I can add you to the email list. So that would be awesome, because it's CTAs actually. It's 109 CTAs that you can use. So it's pretty valuable.
Sounds good. Sounds really good.
Yeah, we get it.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah. Should I put the links here, or?
Yeah, pop the links in there. And
Okay.
I'm just going to finish up with everyone. Thank you, everyone. Please make sure you do #replay if you've got any questions. Pop them in the comments, and I'm sure either myself or Francisca would love to go back and answer any questions. Thanks so much. Really appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
And we will see everyone next time. See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.